Go? All right, what's up, fellas? Let's go. Time for Wake Up Mintzy. My headset's flying everywhere. I got my beautiful black leather jacket. I'm in good mood, though, man. This is the best time of year. We got Major League Baseball playoffs. 2 huge game fours tonight. Phillies-Dodgers starting in an hour. Brewers-Cubs, 8 o'clock. We got Thursday night football, Eagles and Giants. Always a classic NFC East match. We even got college football. I'm excited about East Carolina Tulane. I'm repping a green Tipitina's NOLA shirt. Show some support to the Wave. And joined by Tyler Moody. As always, we're going to break down some games, talk some playoffs. A couple other things to get to first. Drinking my Stella Blue in the afternoon, as always. Got my dude wipes to clean up whatever messes we create. Had a lot of fun yesterday. Played a World Poker Tour cash game with heart rate monitors attached to me. Definitely a little unique and different. But fun lineup. Was at the Lodge Poker Club in Round Rock by Austin. I lost about 580 in the game, which is like nothing at those stakes, how high I was playing. But I did win like a $3,500 pot off the famous political commentator Tim Pool, which was really fun. But shout out the Lodge, man. Great place. They're having their first World Poker Tour event there this weekend. Really cool to play on a live cash game stream. And it was interesting, too, because they hooked up heart rate monitors to us. And I'd never really dealt with that before. But, man, you know, I guess the whole premise was to see if people get nervous when they have hands or not. I don't know, but my resting heart rate just stayed at 80 the whole time. I mean, I guess it's just, you know, the marathon training has my heart rate really good. But fun event. Really enjoyed it. Was in and out real quick. I flew down there Tuesday night, back in the office a couple hours ago. And also got to go by Leroy and Lewis Barbecue in Austin. My buddy Evan Leroy is crushing it. Got a Michelin star. I put a barbecue review up on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. Man, he freaking kills it, though. I know him through the Hogs for the Cause network, but, man, I mean, just amazing fatty brisket, beef cheeks. Just love what he's doing over there. So shout out to Evan Leroy and Lewis. Had a lot of fun there. All right,
Nothing
Chicago,
better than Texas barbecue.
dude.
Nothing
It's
better.
not even. Tyler Moody joins us. What's up, Moody? How are you, bud?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. It's there's just nothing better than Texas barbecue. It's one of the best things on the planet. If you've never had it, you just got to do it at some point. There's nothing better. Period.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things on the barbecue front. People like to argue which region of the country has the best barbecue, and the answer is Texas. And I've had them all, and it's not even close. Like, it's not even like Carolina is pretty good with the vinegar sauce, but like whole hog and pulled pork's not as good as that Texas brisket's unbeatable. And like I had a plate yesterday with like burnt ends, brisket, beef cheeks, had some jalapeno, like chorizo sausage. I mean, dude, he even had some like Korean kimchi as a side. Freaking unbelievable. And just wanted to give it like Leroy and Lewis a shout out though, because I mean, you don't get a Michelin star in the barbecue world. I mean, that's a very rare thing. And he deserves it. And just had, you know, Chef Donnie actually worked a night on the line for him and did a really cool video series about that a few weeks ago too. So some Barstool love for Leroy and Lewis for sure. And
Well,
yeah, Moody.
at least you got some cheeks yesterday. And what'd you think about your play at the table on yesterday?
Man, I thought I played like 18% of hands, which is probably a little low. It was an interesting spot though. Okay, so I brought 5K with me for that game. Dude, that game was playing huge. And, like, people had, like, 10, 20, 30K, and I knew I didn't have that much money. So, like, people were straddling to 160 and 300 pre-flop. And, like, if I make a hand or have a hand, I'm going to play a huge pot. But I was, like, in a spot where I can't just, like, fire it off there. As far as the game goes, like, the highlight for me was I won a really big pot off Tim Pool with ace-9 on an ace-9-5 when he had ace-10. That was definitely my best hand. I had pocket jacks and pocket tens were the best hands I had. And both times, the jacks hand, I made it 325 pre-flop and had 2 calls, and then it just comes like king, queen, 4. And I was in there against 2 people and ended up somebody had ace, queen, but I had to shut it down. And then I raised tens, and I got called, and it came ace, king, jack. Or ace, queen, jack. So it was like I never, the ace-9 hand, I made a hand. But other than that, I never really made.
Your hands were shit.
I never really made a hand. They had like a distribution of the luck and stuff, and I had like the second or third worst hands. It just kind of sucks. Like Doug Polk was obviously firing hard because he's got unlimited money in his club. And Haley Hanna
he was catching hands though too.
Dude, he showed aces full, a set of sevens, 9-6 off for a full house. I mean, he did run some bluffs. But it was a spot where if I could have made some hands, the action was so good, I could have won a lot. But I didn't see how that was a spot where I'm supposed to just be like firing off big when everybody's bluffing and the game's playing so big. And I know that's like boring and I catch some crap for, not being as wild in the game. But like, I don't know, what do you want from me? It's a 5-10 game that's playing like a 25-50 game. I don't know. So I didn't think there was like too much to report. I mean, I got bluffed by 7 deuce by the Brazilian toward the end, but I didn't have anything. Like I made it 60.
He played really well, actually.
Oh, he was so good. Yeah, I made it 60. Good. He made it 260. Haley called, and then I called, but like I could have shoved like 2K pre-flop there, but like, dude, I don't like bombing off king queen off there. Like, yeah, he might be bluffing, but if you shove there, you're only getting called if you're floored. I guess you hope he has jacks or tens. So like I thought the right move is just peel and try to flop. It's a cash game. It's not like an all-in pre-flop thing unless the straddles are really big. So I just shout out World Poker Tour though. I thought it was a cool event. What'd you think of the heart rate thing, Moody?
I thought it was pretty cool. I think they should have done it a little bit differently. They should have figured out what everybody's baseline was, and then seen how much like percentage you could increase it. Because some people, their heart rate was just so much higher on baseline that it was easier for them to reach 180, 190, beats per minute. So I thought that was maybe the one thing they could have adjusted. But overall, it was fun. I mean, the some of the characters you were playing with were hilarious. That
That's
and
right.
Haley, dude, they were funny.
Yeah, man, that's the whole thing with those poker streams, man. I thought the dialogue and banner was great. I thought I was in a spot where I could kind of. I talked some for sure, but like it was so wild with everybody else. It was kind of like I could just
they were
blend
getting drunk
it.
too.
Yeah, they were all getting hammered. And there were obviously a lot of political jokes with Tim Pool at the table, which was pretty. There were a lot of real funny, like underhanded ones, and I was laughing pretty hard about a bunch of them. But overall, really cool. And Doug Polk, man, shout out to Doug. What he's built there at the lodge, such a cool place. And to get a World Poker Tour event at his card room is a huge deal. It's the first one ever in Texas this weekend. It was a little weird for me, Moody, that heart rate thing. Like I would have tried to, run it up and win it, but like the winner got an $1,100 seat to this weekend, and I knew I couldn't play, so I was kind of like, what's the point, And
sure.
The heart rate thing on my end, though, honestly, was more good for my confidence because mine just chilled at 80 the whole time because my heart's in such good shape from the marathon training. So I actually love just looking up at it and seeing, like Doug Polk was the only one lower, and he's in insane shape too. So it's kind of like positive reinforcement for everything I've done this year, if that makes sense.
No, I completely. I was surprised to see how low it was, how continually low it stayed. And I think part of the reason y'all stayed so low during actual hands is because you and Doug have a ton of experience. And Roger, too, playing a ton of experience of poker, live streams. It doesn't really matter. You've played so many hands. That's not going to sway your heart more than a beat or two. You know what I mean? So I was honestly impressed to see how low it was, Mintzy. The only thing I could have seen you doing differently is your image was so tight. Maybe you could have run a bluff, but like you said, you didn't have a ton of money. You don't want to get caught, handing the cookie
the
jar
problem
right
was
there.
If I was sitting 5 or 10K deep, I could have run a big bluff, but I had like 2K, 2,500 in front of me. People were just calling that for the hell of it. Nobody cared.
Yeah, true.
So like, I always catch crap on these streams when I play tighter, but like, I don't see how I'm supposed to just go nuts in that spot when I don't have as much money as a lot of those people, and they're throwing it around and straddling stuff like that. There was one hand I checked back ace-9 on a 6-5-4 when I 3-bet pre, and then a turn came king, and I turned the nut flush draw, and I got check called, and somebody had king jack. My opponent had king jack. Caitlin did.
Yeah.
And that hand, I was mad I didn't bet the flop. Like if I'd have bet 225 on the flop, I would have won that. But like that's like a small mistake though.
And then you folded king 10 in middle position on one where
the king. So the king 10. No, that hand I was in the small. But the only reason I folded there was if I'd have been in middle position, I'd have called. I was in the small blind, and it was like 80 or something to call, and I was 5 in the small blind, and I would have to play it out of position. That was a little tighter fold, but it was close, and it came queen 10.
That was the only time. That was the only time I was like, "What are you doing? You need to call in that spot." Just because it felt like a playable hand in that spot.
Yeah, for sure. If I hadn't been in the small blind, I would have called if I'd have been in position. But no, I did think that was a little tighter of a fold, king 10 off there. But
other than that, you really didn't have shit to play with.
No, it was just great when I had the ace-9 against Tim. I mean, that was awesome. But man, just really fun though. And, shout out Sam Simons, who runs the World Poker Tour marketing, for having me. And they were all real thrilled with the stream. And Doug bought us all dinner after at like this odds restaurant, odds bar next door, which is super cool. And, it was just all real positive. So I thought it was super fun. And, quick trip and was back today. Oh, got to share a Mintzy story because just my ridiculous, stupid stuff. Moody had a little bit of an adventure on the train from the airport here.
I can only imagine.
Dude, so I flew back to Midway, and I'm trying to do better about taking the trains from Midway and O'Hare because the Ubers are like 50, and I'm just like, just trying to be smarter about it because it's not just like, it's one thing if it's one for $50, but like if you do it consistently, it probably will save me $200 or $300 a month. You know what I mean? Because I travel a lot. So my dumb ass, I was having to figure out the map because you have to switch I was on the orange line from Midway to Roosevelt. And at Roosevelt, you're supposed to get on the green line. Well, I got on the red line at Roosevelt. Of course, I get on the wrong train. So I'm like scrambling, like, oh crap, I'm on the wrong train. Well, I'm standing in the middle of the train. And you know how those things, sometimes you lose your balance when they start and stop,
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're in like an airport train.
Yeah.
So
They take off.
the thing starts and I lose my balance and I kind of like step on this dude's foot and he was just not having it. He's like, what the F are you doing, you stupid dumbass? And I was like, yeah, it's a fair criticism. It was really funny. And there was a woman I was talking to, Bobby, and I was like, yeah, that's a fair criticism. And she just started laughing. But just standard.
Not surprised. Doesn't shock me at all.
No. But we're back in the office. Excited to talk some ball today. One other update, too. Chicago Marathon Sunday. Moody, I feel good about it. I'm getting a little anxious because it's just like, dude, this whole year has been built towards Sunday. It's been a looming bear on the calendar, and it's like finally here,
Mm-hmm.
And I've been going really hard on the fundraising. Shout out to all the stoolies and all my friends. I've got a ton of support from Monroe on it, which is cool because that's all people have known me since my childhood. My goal was 10,000 for Paws. I'm currently looking at my fundraising page. I'm almost there, and I know we'll hit it tomorrow. I'm looking at my fundraising page right now. It's I'm at 94.91 of 10K, and Paws is our partner. They do the Lord's work, rescuing dogs and cats, keeping them alive, finding them homes. We've had a lot of people adopt pets for Paws. So, it's weird to say you hold yourself to a standard on fundraising, but I thought anything less than 10,000 is a failure here with them being our Barstool partners. Like, I got to put up a big number. I'm almost there. I still got a few texts on my phone to make. I'm going to push it hard on social media in the morning, but we're going to get there. So shout out to everybody that supported me. I really can't say thank you enough. Like, it's a big deal to raise 10K for Paws.
No doubt. I mean, you're essentially there at this point. Now you just got to go take care of the toughest part of it all, running a damn marathon. I mean, are you going to do? Are you recording it? What's your game plan as far as the content around it?
All right, here's the situation for that. Got some good situations for Sunday. I've been sweating that 10-day weather report so hard. High 73, low 55. Perfect. Can't ask for better on that. It's going to be no rain. I start at 7:30 in the morning, so I'd guess it'll probably be like high 50s, low 60s at that point before it's like, the sun really's up. So I think we got to, and it's flat. So I think you can't ask for better conditions than that. You literally can't. Shout out Tyler Torbett, one of my best friends, Ole Miss buddy of mine from Atlanta. He ran the St. Jude half in Memphis with me. He's coming up here tomorrow, and he's staying with me and going to run it with me. That's going to help incredibly. He's in better shape than me, so he's going to clip me as far as social clips of the run. But just having someone to encourage me when I hit the wall is big, and just having him is going to be really helpful. As far as content goes, there's a real funny segment or interesting segment on the Yak yesterday where they talked about a lot of stuff. Huge shout out to Nick Tirani and Kate. They're coming out and going to do some stuff and interview me, and I really appreciate it, especially with it being on a Sunday. But they both really Big Cat kind of called me out. He's like, oh, y'all are too nice and y'all accept everything. Like, y'all don't have to do that. I agree, but they want to do it. I've talked to them like, hey, don't feel like you have to do this. if you don't want to. Like, I don't, they've both been great to me. I don't want to feel like I'm overstepping, but like they've both been adamant they want to do it and they think it'll be great content. So shout out to both of them for doing that. That's super appreciated. There's going to be a pause spot on mile 23 for people to hang out and view it. So apparently, Moody, it's like $200 to like be at the finish line because so many people are there. So we're gonna probably have people at the pause and all over it. But the finish line thing's not what I assumed it would be.
Are you gonna give it all you got that last little stretch right there like you normally do?
Man, see, the thing
Hopefully.
is but it's different with the 26. Like the strategy on this one, my adrenaline's gonna be pumping at the beginning, but the biggest mistake you can make is going too fast at the beginning. This thing is not about time. I'm 42 freaking years old running a marathon. It's about finishing the damn thing. So it's like I don't think we're really racing the clock here. I want to keep it at about an 11-minute jog. I got to hold it back hard early because my adrenaline's going to be pumping because I have to save. I'm not worried about the first 15 miles. Like, I'll be fine. There's going to be a wall, mile 16 to 20 probably, and I have to have everything left for that. And so, yeah, maybe I'll try to sprint at the end, but honestly, I doubt I'll be able to. Look, people are like, oh, you can. There's this fallacy. Everybody's like, oh, if you can run 20 miles, you can run 26. Like, dude, that's the longest 6 miles of all time. It's not like that. Like on my trainer runs, like the last one I did 20, I thought maybe I had 2 left and I could get to 22. But I mean, dude, it's gonna be hard as hell. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's gonna beat the shit out of me. But I know this is the only time I'm doing it in my life, so I'm going to sack up no matter how tough it is basically my logic.
Well, you've been preparing for it for a year. You got to be ready at this point. You're 3 days away. I mean, it's time to go out there, get it over with. I believe in you. Go put up your best effort. Make yourself proud. Most importantly, cross the finish line, raise that money, and everybody. I know everybody's gonna be impressed when you get this finished with. It's gonna be highly impressive that you were able to knock it out. So, best of luck out there. Give it your damnedest, brother.
Yeah, man, and shout out a bunch of our Shreveport friends have donated and supported it too. Just too many to name. I don't know if I'm gonna name them on here, but the love and support for this, because especially because like, dude, we've been friends 10 years. We go back far. Like, this health thing's been a journey for me. You know it. Anybody that's been part of my past knows it. I mean, this is going to be one of the proudest accomplishments of my life. No doubt about it. To prove to myself I can do this. So, but can't wait for Sunday. Super excited about that. And once again, thanks to everybody supporting it. All right, we got a lot of ball to talk. Moody, let's talk some baseball playoffs first. A lot of stuff to get into here. Before we get into the games today, we got Game 4 Phillies-Dodgers, 5 o'clock. We got a stream starting. We're going to be streaming Brewers-Cubs tonight as well as Thursday Night Football, so big stream tonight. But let's start with last night, New York first. Yankees knocked out. Blue Jays beat them 3-1. Aaron Judge hit freaking 500 in the playoffs. It definitely wasn't his fault. He didn't get any support. The Blue Jays, though, man, Vlad Guerrero just went nuts in the series. A lot of their roll up. I mean, they scored a ton of runs and just – what a story. They're back in the ALCS for the first time since 2016.
Yeah, look, this is my favorite story so far in the postseason. Or my favorite series, not because it was a close series, not because the games were competitive, but because we got to see the Yankees get eliminated from the postseason, which is truly one of the most joyous things in all of sports, year after year after year. And to see Vlad Guerrero really rise to the occasion. A guy that people were hating on the last couple years, saying he wasn't living up to his pedigree, all these different things. Had a great last 2 seasons and showed up so damn big in this series. Had 3 home runs, had a grand slam in there on one of them. I mean, really just balled out across the board. And they pitched well. The whole team hit. Ernie Clement hit the shit out of the ball. Great game last night from Addison Barger. Like this Blue Jays team right now looks like the favorite in the American League. So
I think so too.
I think the Mariners. Yeah, I think the Mariners probably give them a better run than the Tigers do, especially because.
Yeah, I agree with Moody that the Blue Jays are I would say, are the favorite right now. Okay, you cut out for a second. But
Sorry, yeah, I got a phone call. But I think they're the clear favorite right now in the American League. So shout out to Vlad Guerrero. Happy for him. Happy for that Blue Jays team. They deserve it. Anybody with the Yankees.
Yeah. Okay. And now let's touch on Tigers Mariners real quick. Back and forth series, dude. Where'd those bats come from for the Tigers last night? They've been struggling at the plate, and they threw up a 9 spot to force a game 5. And if you're Detroit, with the way they collapsed down the stretch, you got a winner take all game 5 with the best pitcher in baseball on the hill and Scooble to make the ALCS. I don't know how you could ever ask for more than that, especially with the way they played the last couple months.
No, you're absolutely right. This and they're comfortable in this situation because they've been in it. Last season, like the last couple years, they've been a team that's been building, so they're comfortable in this tight series. I think probably more than the Mariners, who have, just found their way back into the postseason. The Tigers are a little bit more battle tested. I think the Mariners have a deeper, better team, but the Tigers are more battle tested. So curious to see how Game 5 goes. Obviously, having Scooble on the hill is the big deal here. There's no doubt about it. Kerry Carpenter, stud. Riley Green, stud. And Javier Baez needs some credit as well, man. Like, this dude is a gamer. We've seen it time and time again in the postseason. He may struggle in the regular season at times, but Javi Baez is a damn gamer whenever it turns October. The Tigers are the clear favorite. They should be. They've got Scooble on the hill. They should win this game, but the Mariners are scrappy. They have more bats. They have more consistent bats. Curious to see how this game goes. They're going to need their right-handed hitters to get after Scooble. Julio Rodriguez must have a big game if the Mariners want to find themselves in the CS, and so does Cal Raleigh. So they need Cal Raleigh as well. So I'm curious to see how that one goes. Obviously, the Tigers are the favorite. Scooble's the best pitcher on the planet right now. Chance for him to go earn that once again.
Yeah, that's Friday, 7:08 first pitch in Seattle. Detroit, a minus 143 favorite, over under of 6 for obvious reasons of Scooble pitching. If Detroit could score 3 runs, they win. And Seattle still hadn't announced their starting pitcher in that one. Let's get to the two tonight. Both the Phillies and the Cubs were down 2-0 in one game 3. And so, first, the Phillies Dodgers. Christopher Sanchez, Phillies ace, pitching against Tyler Glasnow. Good pitching matchup.
Great pitching matchup.
Phillies plus 114 underdog tonight to force game 5 back in Philly. But, man, you got your ace going, and if you get back to Philly, who knows? What do you think about that one?
I like the under in this game. I think Christopher Sanchez, look, this is an interesting spot for him. A lot of pressure on him. He's kind of made his way into being one of their aces without Zach Wheeler there. But Tyler Glasnow, absolute stud. I mean, this is a sensational pitching matchup. Both of these players have actually pitched pretty well against the opposing team. Looks like Teoscar Hernandez has had Christopher Sanchez's number, so that's something to pay attention to. Teoscar, one of the best right-handed hitters against left-handed pitching in baseball right now. So if I'm looking for anybody to make some noise tonight, it'll be him. And then we all know what Kyle Schwarber is capable of in the postseason. He's an absolute gamer. So those are the two names that I'm looking at to step up offensively. But I do think this will be a low-scoring game. I think probably I favor the Dodgers. Been there, done that. But Glasnow's been shaky. He's not quite the same guy pre Tommy John, but I still like the Dodgers in this spot. I love the under more than anything.
All right, Moody's pick under 8. I'm taking it on DraftKings Sportsbook. And then tonight's game, Brewers Cubs. Boy, what an atmosphere it's going to be at Wrigley with an 8:08 start. Freddie Peralta going against Matthew Boyd. Brewers minus 120 favorite, over under 7. Do the Cubs force a game 5?
I do not, and we talked about this middle of the season when everybody was freaking trying to say Matthew Boyd's all of a sudden one of the best pitchers in baseball. The wheels were bound to fall off at one point for Matthew Boyd. Happened in game 1. I think it happens again in this one. I do not trust Matthew Boyd in this spot. Not at all. A lot of good right-handed bats in this Brewers lineup. Jackson Churio especially needs to get going in this game. I'll tell you what. Their catcher's locked in right now. Andrew Vaughn's locked in. I think they're going to beat up on Matthew Boyd tonight. I do not trust Matthew Boyd, point blank, period. I like the Brewers.
All right, there you go. So you would say, any opinion on the over-under 7? Do you lean over with Boyd going?
I would probably lean over. Freddie Peralta could go out there and shove tonight. Look, this is playoff baseball. Anything can happen. I like the Brewers. I would probably lean over just because I don't trust Matthew Boyd. If anything, I might go first 5 over. I think I would probably like that more just because, the Cubs are – let's say the Brewers score 4 runs early. Cubbies go into their bullpen. The bullpen pitches well. They hold the Brewers down. This could be a 4-2, 4-3 win potentially for Milwaukee. So I'm actually shocked that it opened at 8.5 and it's down to 7.5.
I see it at 7. I see it at 7 on DraftKings right now.
That's wild to me. I find that crazy, especially the way Matthew Boyd has pitched as of late and the way the right-handed bats are swinging it right now for the Brewers. So I like the Brewers to win the game more than the over/under, especially after seeing it come down so far. But if anything, I would take the over.
All right. Quick. So we got a bunch of football tonight too. We got a stretch starting yesterday of like 56 straight days of football on, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, you gotta love it. It's the best time of the year. Playoff baseball, football every single day. Essentially, this is the best time of the year.
Yeah, the weather in October too. It is the
Yeah,
best.
it's great. It's perfect.
I'm gonna keep it quick, but I do want to touch on a little college football tonight. There's a couple Louisiana teams playing. I like under 46.5 in Louisiana Tech, Kennesaw State. Tech's got a really good defense this year. And they're on the road, so I think they might struggle on offense. Interesting game tonight in New Orleans, Moody. Very interesting. East Carolina and Tulane. Tulane's a 6.5-point favorite, over under 53.5. East Carolina can sling it, though. They got wide receivers. They can chunk it. They don't have a great defense. I don't know that I trust Tulane laying 6.5 here. There's a lot of worlds where they win a close game. But if Tulane's going to make that run, we were all talking about them for playoffs before they got just completely murdered at Ole Miss. I mean, this is a must-win game at home on Thursday night in NOLA. And, it's kind of one of those that may be an off-the-radar game, but it's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I have no opinion or thoughts on it. Tulane's a good football team, though.
The passing game was kind of struggling, and they've got to fix it. That was kind of the problem at Ole Miss. And so, but I'm excited to watch that game. Huge game tonight. All right, let's touch on this NFL game tonight because we got an Eagles-Giants Thursday night football NFC East matchup. We'll have a stream going. A big Philly stream tonight with the Phillies and the Eagles both going. I know we'll have all our Philly guys on it. Philly by 7, 40.5. Looking to put together a parlay for the people, as we're known to do here. All right, a lot of thoughts. Jackson Dart's got a hamstring thing, but he's going to go. Darius Slayton's out. This receiving core is pretty beat up now for the Giants, obviously, without Malik Neighbors. Tyrone Tracy's back tonight, so that makes me a little hesitant on Scatterboo props because I don't know what's the split going to be there, how much run Tracy's going to get. But when you think about Philly Giants, you keep it short and sweet, and it's 2 words, Saquon Barkley, back in the Meadowlands. I know he hadn't really gotten it going huge like he did last year when he almost won the MVP and he ran for 2,000 yards. I feel like if it's going to happen, it's happening tonight, Moody.
Yeah, I could absolutely see. I think Philly beats the piss out of the Giants here. I just think this is a terrible spot. That defense is so good. The Giants just so beat up, and if Jackson Dart doesn't have his legs, it just feels like Philly's going to play from ahead the entire game. You run it with Saquon Barkley. I mean, Saquon may not even play the fourth quarter is the kind of game that I think that this could be tonight. Also think they probably try and get A.J. Brown going just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like this is the Giants secondary is not great. The Giants front four, very good. The Giants secondary, not good. So I actually think this is a spot where A.J. Brown could shine tonight. I think I'm going to have A.J. Brown getting into the end zone. So I'm looking a little bit more even at the passing game than I am the running game of the Eagles. But they're going to be ahead in the second half. They should run the ball. Saquon's going to get his touches.
A.J. Brown plus 195 to score a touchdown. Good price.
Give me that 100%. I'm on it. Love it. Absolutely love it.
The one Giants price I liked was Theo Johnson caught 2 last week. It seems like him and Jackson Dart have a good chemistry. He's still plus 380, which is good. But I just, like you said, I mean, it's hard to bet Giants touchdown scores when I don't see them scoring a lot of touchdowns. And the other thing, too, if Dart's hamstring, if he can't run, man, that's really going to hurt him because his legs are such a big part of what makes him special.
And I just think they're going to throw some unique things at him tonight. They're going to bring pressure. Like look, I'll tell you what, if the Giants find a way to cover 7, if they find a way to be competitive in this football game, I will be so highly impressed by Jackson Dart and this coaching staff because I just flat out do not see it. I think Philly is going to make a statement tonight. They're coming off their first loss in 20 games, whatever it was. 20-1 in their last 21. This is a spot for them to beat the piss out of a hated rival, Saquon Barkley revenge game. Philly is going to dominate this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't have faith in the Giants either in the spot. And this is also the only thing is like home underdog in division rivalry games. So I'm probably not taking the Philly minus 7. Parlay wise, I think I'm going to do some. Saquon's his receiving yards have been sneaky good this year. They've been getting the ball to him out of the backfield, so I'm thinking about taking him over 25 receiving. But I'm going to do
I
some
could
kind
see
of a
that too because their front four is so good for the Giants. Like I could see them trying to get Barkley the ball out of the backfield through the passing game as much as trying to run up the middle. You know.
So I think that could be something to look at. I thought about doing, you can do the rushing receiving yards combo, and I kind of thought about doing that with Barkley because then you have both.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I'm looking at. All right, we got a bunch of. I want to go run through NFL this week. We got a London game, Broncos and Jets. Denver's a 7.5-point favorite. This is 8:30 Sunday morning. Over under 43.5. I mean, dude. By the way, this Jets thing. I mean, are they the worst
Falling
team in the
apart.
NFL?
From a fundamental standpoint, I think they might be. I watched that Cowboys game, and the Jets took so many just meaningless penalties, dumbass stuff, pre-snap, delay of games, offsides, illegal formations. Like they're just a team that is lacking fundamentals horribly bad. So I don't know, man. I think you could see exactly what you've seen the last couple of weeks from the Jets. Terrible in the first half, playing big time catch up in the second half. The defense lets off the brakes or lets off the pressure, and the Jets somewhat make it a game. But I mean, you have to like Denver here. I think
Yeah, I think it's a bad matchup for the Jets. I lean under 43.5 here too because Denver's got an awesome defense. This thing's in London. I think
Jets
the
defense
Jets.
is bad though, from what I saw against the
Yeah, and
Cowboys. I
that's the
mean,
thing about this Jets thing this year. The last few years they've sucked, but they've been pretty good on defense. They hired Aaron Glenn as a defensive coordinator, but now their defense has gone to shit too because that was the one thing they had. Like they never could score, but like their defense would keep them in games, and now it's gone to hell as well. So
yeah.
and the thing is too, looking back on it, the Saints wanted Aaron Glenn because he used to play there, and he said he wanted to go to the Jets. I mean, I know the Saints aren't good, but Kellen Moore does look like a better coach than Aaron Glenn through 5 games for sure. I don't even think it's a debate.
Yeah, no, I mean, just from watching all of the fundamental mistakes the Jets are making, it's clear that Aaron Glenn can coach defense, but what we're seeing from them on the offensive side of the football, it's just out of sorts to the highest degree. So, like, he clearly doesn't have that fundamental part of the game down yet as a head coach.
No. All right. The noon matchups. Arizona heads to Indy. Indy's 7-46.5. Collar's got a foot thing, but he's probably going to play. Man, I'm at a point where Indy at home, man, it's a wagon, dude. I mean, I don't, I don't want to go again. I mean, they're scoring a lot of points in that dome.
Yeah, this is probably a stay away game for me. I could see the Cardinals, making it a game late potentially. Again, I'm not the biggest Indianapolis believer just yet, but like you said, at home they have been tremendous. Jonathan Taylor is going to get his touches. I think the Colts win the game, but I could see Arizona backdooring this thing late.
Okay. Dallas by 3 at Carolina. Rico Dowdle, played for the Cowboys the last 4 years, ran for 205 yards or something last week. I hadn't seen if Chubb is going or not yet this week, but even if he
Looks
does,
like he's questionable still.
Okay. Dallas 3-point road favorite over under 49.5. You got any thoughts here?
I mean, I like the Cowboys.
I think this is the kind of game the Cowboys win too.
I think this is the kind of game the Cowboys win, but I did watch Breece Hall have some serious success running the ball against the Cowboys. If the Jets didn't fumble it away and have all these damn penalties and take 2nd and 4 and turn it into 2nd and 14 time after time, that could have been a much more competitive game. So I'm a little worried about the Cowboys, but I have zero faith in the Panthers. Like I get that they won that game against the Dolphins. The Dolphins are terrible too. I don't think the Cowboys are Panthers and Dolphins bad. I think the Cowboys are better. I do think Dallas will win.
Dallas also has had a thing for the last few years where they're like kind of better on the road than at home. It's kind of a weird thing.
Yep.
But they've been like that for a while.
Yeah, True Frank's talking about the Cowboys and the Jets. He said Fields actually had a great game last game too. Can't blame it on him. My guy Fields needs a win. I watched the entire thing from start to finish. Fields, a lot of his stats came at the end of the game. He couldn't get going in the middle part of the game. And the Cowboys got ahead. They let the Jets back in it. Fields made plays when he needed to late, but he needed to make those plays in the second quarter. And part of that's not his fault. Illegal formations, delay of games, which to a degree is his fault. There was just dumbass stuff that was putting him and them in really bad spots, and he couldn't get them out of it with his legs.
I will say this, Moody. You were on the Justin Fields fantasy bandwagon hard this year, I mean,
Yep.
even like you look at the games in Miami and Dallas last 2 weeks. Even though the teams look like crap, dude, he's had almost 30. He's had like 3 games of 25 plus fantasy points, and he missed a game. So 3 out of his 4 games, he's had like 25 plus points. I mean, he's been like awesome in fantasy.
I haven't missed on much in fantasy that I gave out, except for we both thought Pacheco was going to be good. I would say that's probably been the thing
Yeah,
I've
Lad
been the
McConkey. We
most
both liked
wrong
Lad
on.
McConkey a lot,
And
and it kind of
I'm not ready to give up on Lad McConkey yet. I think Lad McConkey, especially now that Amari Hampton and Najee Harris are both gone, they're going to have to rely on short, quick passing more. I think Lad McConkey from this point forward will be the receiver we thought he was going to be before the season. So I'm not ready to say I was wrong on Lad McConkey. I'm ready to say I was wrong on Isaiah Pacheco. But outside of that, I've been pretty damn good this year.
yeah, absolutely. All right, here's a game I got an opinion on that probably won't be a popular one. L.A. Chargers head to Miami. Chargers a 4.5 point favorite on the road, cross country trip. I know Miami's bad. I mean, they just lost to Carolina. They have 1 win, but I like them in this spot plus 4.5. I mean, the Chargers right now. I mean, you're like you said, no Hampton, no Harris, but even more important than that, no Joe Alter Slater. One of their guards got hurt. Their offensive line is a total mess, man. And we saw them lose at the Giants 2 weeks ago. You know, they got destroyed by the Commanders at home. I mean, give me the Dolphins plus 4.5 as a home dog, just as an indictment over all the Chargers' injuries, and it's a cross country trip. I mean, I think Miami might win outright here, as bad as they've looked. I really do.
I mean, I could see it. I don't know. I'm going to have a tough time getting on board with that one. I just think the Dolphins don't have a lot offensively right now. They lost to the damn Panthers last week. You know what I mean?
I
Like I
know,
just
I
think the
know.
Chargers, even without pieces, I think the Chargers are still the better team. So this one for me is a stay away. I'm not touching this one. Too many questions that I need to have answered with the pieces that are missing for the Chargers. I do think you'll see Lat McConkey have a good game against the Dolphins, though. That is one thing I am confident in.
All right, Cleveland Browns plus 5.5 at Pittsburgh, 37.5. I will say this. Gabriel looked like an NFL quarterback last week, which I didn't necessarily expect. I mean, he really did look pretty good. And you've said this about Cleveland. I know they're 1-4, but man, that draft they crushed this draft. I mean, their rookie class looks extremely good right now. And I mean, I don't know if I'm not trusting a rookie quarterback at Pittsburgh necessarily, but low over under, I don't really have a strong opinion on this.
I mean, if anything, I like the under in this game. The Browns defense is good.
Oh
I don't know
hell
what
yeah!
the I don't know what happened to them on that final drive. I mean, it's like if you want to say, "Hey, the NFL's rigged," I would point at you to that last drive from the Browns because they just look like a completely different defense on that final drive against Minnesota. It was honestly crazy to watch, but this is a great defense. They're going to try and run the ball with Judkins. It's the same thing I say every week when we talk about the Browns: run the ball, play defense, try and win a game. The thing about Dylan Gabriel, he did miss some throws in that game, but he had control of the offense. And, that's the reason we're not seeing Shedeur Sanders start just yet. He's not ready for the pre-snap stuff. Like there was his final game in the preseason, he had 3 delay games and they had to burn a timeout to avoid a fourth. So like people are clamoring to see Shedeur Sanders. I don't think Shedeur is ready from the fundamental part of the game just yet. I think Dylan Gabriel, because he was in college for a million years, is ready. He can handle that. He's never going to blow you away with his talent, but he can run an offense. I think we saw that last week. This will be a real test for him, though, against a hated division rival. I don't know if the Browns can get it done, but I do like under 38.5 because I think both defenses are going to show up in this game.
Yeah, and these AFC North games, man. I mean, we see 16-13 in this matchup a lot, and it wouldn't shock me at
Yep.
all.
Yep. Yep.
L.A. Rams traveling to Baltimore. Boy, this Ravens thing's getting bad. 1-4.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper Rush. They got a bye week next week, so Lamar's going to sit this week, and then he's going to come back after the bye, which makes sense. But the Rams are 7.5 here, over under 44.5. I mean, the Ravens last week, that was they looked horrible. Cooper Rush turning the ball over. Houston just destroyed them. I mean, I'm Rams or nothing here.
Yeah, 100%. It's just we of course we're riding the Rams bandwagon. We both picked them to win the Super Bowl. It's always so funny. I'll have an opinion. I'll talk to Mintz about it, and we'll be on the same thing, whether that's good or bad. But so far, it's been good with the Rams. They have a great defense. I just can't imagine Cooper Rush making this a competitive football game. if it ends up being competitive, it'll be because Derrick Henry just put the team on his back. But I don't see that being the case. I like the Rams. There's a potential blowout here, just like you saw last week with Baltimore.
Yeah, this might be. I'm not a big teaser guy, but Rams -1.5 in a teaser looks kind of juicy to me because I just don't see them losing this game.
Yeah, I could even go 2.5 for sure field goal.
New England Patriots 3.5 in New Orleans over under 45.5. I don't know if I take the Saints here, but boy, this is a good spot to be catching New England. They're off a huge Sunday night win against a rival in Buffalo. Now you got to travel to play a bad Saints team. This is a letdown spot for a young team. And the Saints, look, I mean, they're 1-4, but 4 of the 5 weeks have been competitive. I mean, that Seattle was that was a nightmare, but every other week they've been fighting. And I think this is a spot they're going to fight again. I actually do in the Dome.
I kind of like the Saints here as well. Again, I'm not buying the Patriots just yet. I know it was a huge win last week. I get it. This, like you said, this feels like such a letdown spot coming off the big win, traveling to the Superdome. Tough place to play, even though it's not quite as raucous there as it's been in the past. But still, and I'll tell you what, Spencer Rattler has played pretty good.
He has.
He really has.
No, he has.
He deserves a lot of credit because I did not think that he was going to. I thought we'd see Tyler Shuck already by this point. Spencer Rattler has been not necessarily impressive, but he's been serviceable, and the Saints have battled every single game. I don't think I could take the Saints to win outright, but you could talk me into the Saints and the points in this spot. I could even potentially see this game going over 45.5.
Yeah, no,
maybe.
I kind of thought it was a sneaky over because the Patriots, I've watched a lot of Patriots this year, and they have a great run defense, but their pass defense isn't great. So I think Rattler and Olave and Shaheed, I think the Saints will be able to sling it on them, and then Drake May's obviously playing well too. But 45.5, it's like Vegas, they always know because that is like a little bit of a higher total for how the Saints have been playing so far this year.
Yeah. Speaking of the Saints, a minute ago, the Guap Geta said Saints are the worst. Mintzy, don't lie. I don't think they're the worst.
I don't think I actually got to give credit to this coaching staff. I mean, I look, we all knew it was going to be bad, but they've got them playing hard. You know, I mean, I thought the defense. I know the Giants darts young and all that, but I mean, they've 5 turnovers and 5 possessions. I mean, that's pretty wild. You don't see that often. I mean, I know you put a lot of that on the Giants too, but they're not. I mean, they're definitely not good. I'm not saying they are, but they're actually not as horrible as I thought they were going to be. I mean, they're not getting blown. They've only gotten blown out once, and Seattle's one of the best teams in the league.
Agreed. I mean, the Saints. You could make the argument the Saints have the worst roster in the NFL. I would listen to that, but I don't think they've played the worst to this point. I think if anyone in the NFL has played above what their talent suggests, it's probably the New Orleans Saints would be the first team that I would point to be honest with you.
Maybe the Colts.
Yeah, and the Colts. But they have more pieces across the board, I feel like, than the Saints do, for sure.
Oh, no doubt. The Daniel Jones, the Indiana Jones thing. Seattle cross-country trip to Jacksonville. This line opened at Jacksonville by 1.5. Now the Seahawks a 1.5-point favorite. Seattle's actually been really good on the road the last few years. Over under 47.5. I mean, I don't have a clue what's going to happen in this game. I'm going to be honest, but I am a little surprised Seattle's favored though.
I mean, I think Vegas thinks Seattle's the better team. The Jags. For me, this is like the game of the week, to be honest with you, because these are two teams that have both looked good, but they haven't looked great. Their record suggests they're both great teams. I want to see what this game looks like. This is actually a very important game in my eyes. I probably lean Jacksonville because they're at home, but I don't know, man. I want to see this one. I'm going to watch this game intently because I do have some Jacksonville stock this year, obviously picking them to win the division. Would love for them to get to 5-1, but their wins have been ugly. They haven't been super convincing, and Trevor Lawrence got to take care of the damn football. As we talked about the other day, he'll look great, then he'll look like a damn rookie once again. I want to see him finally find that consistency where he looks like an elite quarterback in the NFL, like we thought he was going to be whenever they drafted him. So, big time game in my eyes.
Tennessee Titans off their first one. I can't believe they won that game. That's the fact they won that game in Arizona. DeMarcado dropping the football, running in the end zone. Arizona gets the interception, then fumbles, and Tennessee gets a touchdown. I mean, that was the fluky. I mean, if you're Arizona, man, I mean, how do you lose that game? That is one you just can't. I just can't fathom how they lost that game. Titans plus 4.5 at the Raiders, 41.5. I mean, this is kind of a crappy game here.
It's a crappy game. I mean, I guess I'll lean the Raiders. I kind of like the over more, to be honest with you. I think I like the over in this game because just I don't know. Actually, I don't even know. Both these teams
I don't
suck.
know
I really
either.
don't. I really don't care about this game if we're being honest.
No.
But I could see it potentially turning into a little bit of an ugly shootout. I think it has potential for that.
All right, Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Flacco going to start after we've got the interdivision trade. You know how I thought something funny to comment on this Flacco deal. Cincinnati's got that. They have that well-earned reputation for being a cheap organization. Dude, they traded for Flacco and had their starting quarterback flying coach to Cincy. I don't know if you saw that.
It is pretty crazy.
I mean, come on, man. But anyway, Green Bay's 14, over under 44.5. Look, I don't like laying 14, but I cannot see Cincinnati winning this game. Their offensive line, this is a bad spot. Like, maybe Flacco's better than Browning, but, like, he's 40. He's not mobile. They can't block. They literally can't. Green Bay's got a hell of a pass rush. I think Josh Jacobs 2 touchdowns Sunday. They're going to run it down their throat.
I think this is the exact same thing. It feels like Flacco is leaving a situation to just go right back into the same thing he had going. Obviously, his receivers are better. Offensive line play for Cleveland has not been good.
But
Even
they've had
worse
at
than
least
Cincinnati.
Cleveland had a running game, though. Cincinnati can't run
Yeah,
the
but
ball.
their pass blocking has not been good. He's had a lot of situations where he's been having to take sacks. I think he's just going to be the exact same thing. The only thing he can do in this game, throw it up and hope Jamar Chase goes and makes a play. I mean, that's you're throwing it up to him the entire game. But Green Bay's defense is so good, and they can get pressure with 4 that they can bracket, they can keep a safety over the top. Like, I don't see a path to victory here for the Bengals, even to make this game competitive. 14
I
and a
don't either.
half, ton of points. Probably one that I'll just stay away from. I will say, I think Flacco will be better than Jake Browning. I think that's a good thing for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I don't know that it's going to equate to a lot of wins, but it'll be better for fantasy, and they won't get blown out 40-3 or whatever it was when they played Minnesota.
All right, here's a really good game. Niners +3 at Tampa, 325, over under 47.5. I mean, Bucks 4-1, Baker legitimate MVP case, especially doing it, scoring 38 on the road against a good Seattle defense without Bucky Irving and Mike Evans, with his third offensive coordinator in 3 years in Tampa. I mean, dude, I know we've been talking a lot about how impressed we are with Mayfield, but, like, dude, that's a lot of stuff going against you when you don't have your top receiver, top running back, new coordinator. I mean, that was a absolutely epic performance, I thought, on Sunday.
100%. I mean, right now. If you said who's the gamer of the NFL, I would probably lean. It's probably still Mahomes, but Baker Mayfield's right there in the conversation. Mahomes, Mayfield, Matthew Stafford probably be my 3 gamers at the quarterback position. But my thing in this is the 49ers 3-0 on the road so far this season. I realize it's a cross country trip. This is a tough one to win on the road. I kind of like the 49ers. Mac Jones has got them rolling a little bit. Maybe Ricky Pearsall plays. And I think that's a big factor if I'm going to eventually stick my money in on the 49ers. I need Ricky Pearsall to be out there. I don't think that they can win this game without him on the outside. So I'm going to wait and see how things progress into Sunday. If Pearsall plays, I'm on the Niners. If not, I'm staying away from it.
I'm curious, this Mac Jones-Purdy situation is interesting because Purdy got a 5-year, 200. Dude, they just gave him 5 and 265, and Mac Jones makes like 8 or 9 million. And, like, I mean, what's the difference? You know?
And he's winning without his guys on the outside. I mean, Juwan Jennings has barely played. Ricky Pearsall out of the lineup last week.
Ayuk's out still too.
Ayuk's still out. I don't know how much they're going to get from him this year. We'll ultimately see. But you got to give Mac Jones a ton of credit. And you got to give freaking Christian McCaffrey a lot of credit for being healthy, being on the field, still putting out solid production. I mean, 91 for 282. You know, it's not insane by any means when you compare him to the rest of the NFL. But what he's done in the passing game has made the life for the quarterback so much easier. Without Christian McCaffrey, this is a 1-4 football team.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and Kittle's been out too. I mean, it's unbelievable what the Niners are doing.
Yeah, it is.
Considering, I mean, they just that game they won at the Rams. That their quarterback starting best 3 receivers in Kittle, to win on the road against one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, you did Kyle Shanahan. You can't say enough. All right, we got an awesome Sunday night game. KC 2.5 at home against Detroit 52.5. Chiefs at 2-3, and they really need this one.
And I think they win this one. This is at home. I think they get it done. The Lions, not the same team on the road. They're so good in the dome at home. I think highly of the Lions. I'm not saying I don't. Maybe the past is clouding my judgment here. I think Mahomes finds a way to get this done. Should have won that game the other night. Mahomes made one critical mistake. If they don't make that mistake, they beat the Jaguars. They're 3-2. We're singing a little bit different tune today, but this is a must-win game. It feels like for the Chiefs.
It
I think
is.
they find a way. I really think they find a way. That's still a great defense, man. And one of the things with the Lions, they're I know they're healthy once again with their offensive line, but they're still giving up a little bit of pressure. I think there's a chance that the Kansas City pass rush makes a difference in this game. Give me the Chiefs plus or -1.5. I love that Vegas is on the minus side. Everybody's going to be on the Lions in this game. Almost guarantee it. Love the Chiefs.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs too. And then Monday's interesting too. Buffalo 4.5 in Atlanta. Atlanta's off a bye. I mean, dude, Atlanta's kind of they're one of those teams that's a lot different when they're playing at home on that turf. I mean, I'm not saying I want to bet against Buffalo coming off a loss, but I mean, I'm Atlanta or nothing in this game.
Buffalo has played 4 of their 5 games at home so far this season too. They are 1-0 in their only away game, but I think that might have been is that the I don't remember which game it was.
They crushed the Jets. They beat the
It was the
Jets.
Jets, yeah.
Yeah, it was
That's
ugly.
what I
It was
remember.
it was real
Yeah.
ugly.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a chance for Atlanta here, but again, I'm not super confident in it. But Atlanta's coming off a bye week. Everybody's healthy. They should be good to go. If Atlanta is going to win a big time game, this is a spot for them to get a win. Yeah, I could be on Atlanta +4.5. I could see it.
Big game for Penix here. I know he
Yes.
played. He
Yeah.
played better 2 weeks ago when they beat the Commanders. But I mean, he had that horrible game at Carolina. I want to touch on before we get out of here too. A couple of college football games. The big ones this week.
Oh, you missed one other game. There's a doubleheader on Monday. Bears Commanders.
Oh, dude, how could I miss the PMT Bowl? I just it's
PMT
got
Bowl.
the reason I missed it. It's because I'm in Illinois and we don't have the spreads on Illinois games. That game's in Chicago Monday night. What did you see a line on it?
Yeah, it's I'm looking at Washington -4.5 right here. I think that's reasonable for sure. I probably like Washington. I don't. Again, I don't trust the Bears just yet, but steps in the right direction. Coming off a bye week, big spot for Caleb. This is a huge matchup in Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels,
Yeah,
right?
no doubt.
Which everybody's been hyping Jaden Daniels, and he has certainly earned that. Everybody's been shitting on Caleb Williams, and he has certainly earned that. Chance for Caleb Williams to show up in prime time and say, hey, you know what? I am the quarterback that went number 1 overall. So big spot for Caleb Williams right here. I still like the Commanders.
Remember that Hail Mary last year in this game? Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a big spot though for the Bears are 2-2, but they need to beat somebody good. I mean, they did get it was they commending them for winning a road game against the Raiders. It's tough to win on the road in the NFL, and they smoked Dallas, but they need to beat a playoff team. A win here would do a lot for their psyche for sure going forward.
Yep. Got a few things in the chat.
All right, shout out chat.
The Guapgetta said Rattler is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. One Demario Davis injury from going winless. I don't think who is the worst quarterback in the NFL right now?
I mean, it was Jake Browning for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I still need to see more from Gabriel. Carson Wentz isn't all that great.
Spencer, I'm not saying Spencer Rattler's far from being the worst quarterback in the NFL, but I don't think he's played the worst as far as the quarterbacks are concerned. Let's see his stats real quick. Let me pull it up.
No, he's been better than expected.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a 67% completion percentage, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. He's only turned it over, one time? 6 interceptions, 1 pick. It's not bad. He's got a 57 QBR. Not great, not terrible. Again, he's been better than I thought he was going to be the worst quarterback.
I thought he was going to be horrible.
Yeah, and he's been better than that. I'm not saying he's good by any means, but he has been better than I thought he would be.
I'm actually going to look at his over in the passing against New England. Their pass defense hadn't been great. I know Christian Gonzalez, their best corner, is back now, though, and he missed the first few weeks. So that definitely is a factor.
Tank 28 got some trash talk for you, Mintz. Mincy not finishing the marathon, even money.
Ooh, even money. Man, I want to make some kind of bet. I wonder if we can make some kind of bet on that. Shoot me a DM,
I
Tank.
guarantee you can find somebody out there that's willing to take your action on that. I think.
Stu Feiner said 5 hours 51 minutes the other day. I that would be. I mean, you never know if I like run out of gas, but I'm thinking around 5:20. 5 to 5:25 is what I think is going to happen.
True Franks says before he got hurt, he should have been the 100% MVP. His anytime touchdown was like minus 400. Talking about CMC, there wasn't a week he didn't score. Maybe one at the end of the So they're talking about before he got injured.
Oh
And I
yeah,
do. I think CMC should be in the MVP conversation right now. I mean, I really genuinely do, especially for what he's helped that team accomplish. No WNBA talk. Couldn't even tell you. I thought their season was over, to be
I
honest with
think
you.
it's in the
But
finals, but I don't know.
okay. That's one that I don't really get into too much. Murph says you can 100% bet on the Bears in Illinois.
Okay, I don't know why I didn't see it. Let me see because it's the rules college. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can.
They may have just taken the game down or something.
No, it's here. No,
What?
it's here. No, it's Commanders at home by 4.5. I just didn't see it. It's
Yeah.
49.5.
Okay.
That's a rule.
Row OT saying he's loving the leather jacket, Mincy. Is that new?
So the leather jacket is something from the Yak dropped it to me last week as some kind of prank, and I'm supposed to wear it all week for the office for content. So I don't know, but yeah, the leather jacket.
it.
It's a look for sure. I feel like it's like like when you're in high school and there's like the too cool for school girl you're like kind of intimidated by that smokes cigs that wears the black leather jacket. That's kind of what I think about this look.
Just got to get you some cigs. Guap has a play for us for tonight. Vegas Golden Knights minus 200. He said that was a lock earlier.
Okay, all right, we'll track it. I don't know.
I have no clue on the hockey side. NFL, MLB for me. That's pretty much all.
Yeah, and I'm about to hit. Go ahead.
Good. No, you're good.
No, let's get off the chat, and then I'm gonna touch on college baseball before we get out of here.
Yeah. Tank said, "How did you get the nickname Destroyer? Folding everything." In your defense, the hands were just dog shit outside of.
Dude, I played 18%'s a little low, but I mean, I don't. Man, I'll be honest, dude. I'll say it. And I'll repeat it, dude. People were playing with unlimited money in that game, and I didn't have unlimited money, and it was playing huge. Like I'm not in a spot where I could. That King 10 hand, I wish I'd have called, but I don't think it was.
That was the only one. I was evaluating.
I didn't think it was like. I don't think it was like I was playing that nitty. I just didn't think I count. Like I had jacks and tens were the two kind of premiums I had, and then both times 2 and 3 overs flopped, so it wasn't great.
Yeah, what's the point in playing 3-9? You know what I mean? Like especially.
No, I know. Yeah. No, I hate that. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that was the right thing. Appreciate you watching the stream.
Yeah, I watched the entire stream last night. I love poker. Obviously, I'm a cash game guy, so
I want to play more cash. I want to play more cash because I like the especially the element. Like I'm a tournament guy usually, but the cash game thing of being able to just play for a few hours. Like I have a busy schedule, and the tournament thing, it's just like you have to commit for so long, you know.
I've got one here from LFAFO that I don't quite. EOLS is ticker, the injection you want for cheeks. Love you, Mints. I'm not sure what that EOLS Maybe he meant.
I don't know if he's referring to the beef cheeks we were talking about, or I don't know what's going on.
Maybe so. Maybe he's a little bit behind in the episode. Leather jacket is fire. Jokes on them. Yeah, the leather jacket's definitely fire. Moody is from the South based on the way he pronounces Illinois. And I'll tell you what's funny. I caught myself when I said Illinois a second ago, just because I was reading it off there. If I'm just speaking, I will say Illinois. If I'm reading it, I'll say Illinois. So
that's funny.
I do that with certain words, though, for sure. No, that is funny because I caught myself whenever I said it. I feel you, Shadizzle.
That's funny. Shout out chat, though. We always answer everything. Appreciate y'all contributing to the show. All right, Moody, I got a few. If we're caught up on chat, I got a couple college football thoughts, and then before we get out of here.
Yeah, go ahead. And then I think there was one other thing that they had said in the chat about the Oklahoma-Texas game. They were saying maybe
Mateer trying to go.
may play. Yeah, potentially. We'll see.
I mean, he wants to play, and it's a big rivalry. It's their biggest rivalry game. I mean, I know that, the line was Texas by 3. Now I think it's 1.5. We'll get to it. All right, few college football games to touch on. Moody, fascinating game in Columbia, Missouri. Bama, 3-point favorite at Missouri, 51.5. Mizzou's looked real good. Pabua, quarterback from Penn State's been great. Ahmad Hardy's been best running back in college football. But are they capable of beating Bama? I mean, this one's fascinating, dude. Fascinating game. I mean, my instincts would still lean Bama because I don't know if Missouri's quite elite, but we're going to find out a lot at 11 a.m. on Saturday. I think that's the best game of the week. Awesome.
Feels kind of like Bama could win this game, and then all that nonsense people were talking about the fall of Bama a few weeks ago could just suddenly dissipate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
you got to give them credit, dude. The win at Georgia, and then they covered against Vandy last week on that long touchdown run. I mean, Bama's they're in a great spot right now, and it's always so easy to overreact to week one. Ole Miss has
exactly what the media and fans did. So I think Bama probably wins that game personally.
Reb's got a cakewalk against Washington State, 31.5-point favorite at 11:45. I don't see any problem there. All right, Indiana at Oregon's a monster one. Saturday, 2:30. Oregon's a 7-point favorite, both undefeated. It opened at 7.5. Now it's down to 7. I mean, this is the spot as Indiana. They kind of got in the spot last year when they went to Ohio State. Indiana's great at beating the bad teams, but are they for real? My instincts think Oregon. You know this too because you used to cover, man. Dude, you don't want to mess with Oregon on their home field. They're a different football team at home, man. I lean Oregon here.
Yeah, I like Oregon in the spot as well. Great game, great matchup for the Big Ten. I'll tell you what, bro. Austin Stadium. I think I've been to the majority of the. I haven't been to some of the Northeast ones, but all the ones in the South, and then obviously I've been to Alton. Alton's one of the best stadiums in the country. It gets rowdy. I mean, I think Oregon wins this game. I really do. And I think they're a great football team too. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, Dante Moore, quarterback's been playing great. I mean, they had the big win at Penn State. Look, Oregon, Dan Lanning, man, what he's done with that program, you can't say enough.
Real coach.
They went undefeated in the regular season last year. Everybody forgets it because they lost to Ohio. They ran into that buzzsaw in that quarterfinal of the Rose Bowl. But I mean, dude, he's got I thought that there'd be a chance they'd fall off without Bo Nix or Gabriel, and it has not happened. So you got to give them a ton of credit. Man, it's a pretty interesting slate. Indiana, Oregon, Bama, Missouri, and now we're on Oklahoma, Texas. Texas opened as a 3-point favorite. Now it's 1.5. Over-under is 43.5. The Mateer thing obviously looms large. The way football tends to work, it's like right when everybody thinks Texas sucks, they should. This is the bounce-back spot. But until we figure out if Mateer is going or not, I don't really want to place a wager here.
Yeah. This feels like a spot where, I mean, you would think Texas wins this game, but, dude, Oklahoma with Mateer just looks like a completely different football team.
The other thing, too, with Texas, all right, I want to touch on this Arch Manning
Texas
thing.
being unranked right now is crazy, by the way.
Well, I know Archie's catching a ton of crap, and I get it because he was hyped up to be the prodigal son, and he hadn't been that. But it's been a total team failure. Their offensive line is horrendous. Their running backs had 9 carries for 11 yards at Florida. Moody, on 78 dropbacks this year, Arch has been under pressure 35 out of 78 times. I mean, I know Arch isn't playing well. I'm not saying he is. But this Texas offensive line is a very big problem, and Oklahoma is not the right. I mean, Oklahoma had 10 sacks against Jackson Arnold a couple weeks ago. So that's something to watch, too. I don't want to totally put it on Arch, even though Arch is definitely struggling. But I feel like everybody's just blaming it all on him, and I think it's a lot of other problems, too.
He deserves, like I said the other day, he deserves a lot of blame. He's missed the easy passes. When you're the stud, you're the savior and all this stuff, you can't miss the easy stuff. And I've seen him miss too many easy passes. Once he figures that out and gets that cleaned up, and I do think that he will, he's going to be the guy that we thought. I don't know that it's going to be this year, but there's a reason that they don't expect him to go into the draft. Everybody knows he's not quite ready. Give him another year. Next year could be Texas season.
Arkansas at Tennessee, Saturday, 3:15. Tennessee's a 12.5-point favorite. Over under Moody. How about this total for an SEC game? 68.5. Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. I feel like this is so this is going to be Petrino's first game. They're off a bye. He fired some of the defensive staff. Arkansas's definitely got a good offense with Taylor Green, but I think people don't forget about Tennessee choking at Arkansas last year. And I feel like Tennessee, this could be payback time and kneeling for that game last year.
Yeah, I could see it. And I just think of the Tennessee Georgia game where it felt like they were scoring every single drive. There's a reason this total is 68. I could see it
Yeah.
going over as well.
Yeah, that's also partially why I kind of lean Tennessee in the game. Like, I don't mind laying 12
Mhm.
and a half if I think Tennessee's going to score 38 points, which I do think is going
But
to happen.
Arkansas will make more mistakes than Tennessee will. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's just inevitable. Yeah.
I'm curious. This Tom a flat circle, dude. Bobby Petrino, head coach of Arkansas again. Crazy.
Never should have left. Never should have been fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting game in College Station, Texas. Florida, who looked like a different team against Texas. Lagway threw the ball really well. They got the running game going. Jaden Ball over 100. Their defense has been there the whole time. I mean, it's all been on Lagway in the offense. They're catching 7.5 at A&M, over under 47.5. A&M, they got that huge win at Notre Dame. They beat the hell out of Mississippi State in the second half, grinded out a win against Auburn. Their defense has looked a lot better since the Notre Dame game. I mean, I think this is just going to be one of those SEC slugfests. I think 47.5 is high here. I think this game's going to be a grind.
As someone who grew up an A&M fan, cheered for them for a big portion of my life, I have seen them blow blow their season in games just like this, Vince. When it felt like everything was going right, and then they just slip up to a 2-3 team. Would not be surprised if Florida's riding momentum right now. If I'm an Aggie fan, and I guess I semi am, terrified in this spot, legitimately terrified.
Yeah, I would lean Florida in the points just because, like I said, I feel like this is going to be a lower scoring slugfest type game. So 7.5's a lot. And I think 47.5's high too. There's a lot of interesting games on Saturday. Georgia, 3.5 point favorite at Auburn, night game, South's oldest rivalry. I'll tell you this, man. I just always say this about Hugh Freeze. Dude, this is the kind of game he wins, man. Right when everybody's kind of dogging on Auburn. I mean, he'll have them ready to fight as a home dog. Auburn's going to have a great home field advantage. Georgia's looked a little vulnerable. I mean, I kind of lean Auburn plus 3.5 here. I'm just going to say it.
I could see that as well. I think you skipped over Ohio State, Illinois.
Oh, that I skipped over it because that's the college thing here. That's the big noon game, CFB on Fox. That's where Dave and everybody's headed. What are you seeing on that line? Because I don't have it here because I'm in Illinois.
I'm seeing Ohio State minus 14.5. I think that's appropriate. I still think Ohio State's the best team in the country. We talked about it the other day. I think they handle business and they handle it in impressive fashion on the road.
Yeah, they did it at Washington a couple weeks ago. Ohio State. The one thing about Ohio State to watch out for, though, is they have a lot of games where they have slow starts and they pick it up in the second half. You see a lot of games that'll be like 3-0 in the late second quarter, and that's something you got to watch out for here. Is like, can Illinois muck it up early to stay in it? But I think Ohio State will pull away in the second half. Two other games I want to mention. Michigan's a 2.5 point underdog at USC. I like USC in this game at home. Underwood's young, a freshman quarterback on the road. I think this is like a spot the USC is going to get them. Just my instincts say that.
Yeah, not a whole lot of opinion there for me. Again, I don't necessarily trust Michigan. I know that they're riding a little bit of momentum right now, but Bryce Underwood.
I mean, they didn't look that good against Wisconsin, and Wisconsin sucks too.
Yeah, I don't trust Michigan personally.
I also like the traveling thing. That's just a long trip. USC and a night game. I kind of just like them in that spot. And then last game I want to mention, we've talked about, dude, Texas Tech, man, war machine team. What they did to Houston last week, 35-11. Now they're a 14-point favorite at home against Kansas. I mean, kind of like what's going on with Miami and the ACC is what's going on with Texas Tech and the Big 12. They're the best team. They're dominant up front. They spent all that money on that roster. I mean, it's time for people to take them real serious. I think there's a chance they get a top 4 seed winning the Big 12 and have a bye in the playoffs. I think there's a good chance of it at this point. Kansas does have a mobile quarterback in Jalen Daniels, but Texas Tech up front is going to whip them. I mean, I don't know if they cover the 14, but I don't think Kansas really can. I just think they're outmatched on scrimmage.
How the hell is Jalen Daniels still at Kansas, bro? I feel like he's been there. He's been there since 20. Well, I don't know if he's been there, but this is his 6th year in college football. Obviously, the COVID years in there somewhere as well. It's just crazy that he's still the quarterback at Kansas. The fact that he is still the quarterback at Kansas gives them a shot because he's a legitimate gamer. But dude, I don't trust him against a very good Texas Tech defense.
Man, this Texas Tech bunch, like I said, I just think they're so serious. And then finally, South Carolina at LSU, 6:45 night game. LSU 8.5, 44.5. Real curious, is the bye week going to have helped Nussmeier? Because last week Van Buren took all the first team reps, just getting him some rest. You know, LSU's offense has been a mess. We saw that at Ole Miss for sure. They hadn't had a running game. South Carolina's beat up too. I mean, over-under's 44.5. I mean, I don't know. I think LSU will win, but it's hard to lay 8.5 with the way the offense has looked.
Yeah, it's all about Nuss's health at this point. I mean, LSU at home, Tiger State, Death Valley. You probably think LSU wins this game, but 9.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah, and I'll say, look, LSU still got it all in front of them. It's bad. You know, I know it seemed bad after the Ole Miss loss, but they got through at Clemson, Florida, and that Ole Miss is the one loss. I mean, before the year, you just said that's fine. You know, before, and I know Clemson's been disappointing, but, you know, you kind of would have thought before the year if you split at Clemson and at Ole Miss and you beat Florida at home, you're not mad. The thing with LSU, the defense is great. It's just there's been no running game, and Nuss hadn't looked right. So, you know, you just got to hope he looks better off that rest. We'll see. I mean, he definitely hadn't been himself, though. And they got to figure out something running the football, man. I mean, they can't run it. You know, you got to have some kind of a running game, especially when your quarterback's hurt. But anyway, great slate of college football.
Yeah, 100% there is. We got a couple other things in chat we'll finish up with here. Hold the Mayo, your boy.
Yeah,
saying
dude.
Arch will be fine. It'll take longer than this season. He def sees the field. Great. He's just got to clean up the throws. Yep, I agree right there.
Got to get Devin Mayo's on here. We got to get him on here next week.
Yeah, Tank was asking, did Mintzy go to high school with the kids from Greece? I was actually Kaniki in Greece. Funny story. I was supposed to be Kaniki in Greece, practice to be Kaniki in Greece for months. And then we made the state championship game, which happened to fall on the same day as the performance for Kaniki in Greece. And I don't think I've ever had anyone in my entire life so mad at me as the theater teacher in that I was supposed to be, you know, in class for. Let her down. Went and won a state championship, though. Who needs to be Kaniki in Greece when you win a state championship in football? I mean, baseball. There was something else on here that seemed legitimate.
Shout out Hold the Mayo. Stone Cold.
LFAFO was saying it's Botox. It's like he owns the company. He was saying it's that, EOLS was like Botox. So,
all right.
Interesting.
Maybe on the Let's Get Hot movement.
Dante Moore's amazing, but man, Mendoza looked really good. The one game I watched, Indiana, I think Oregon wins, but it's close. True Franks, South Carolina plays 5 straight top 15 teams.
Yeah, dude, I saw that.
Brutal schedule. Yeah.
It's a bloodbath. Total bloodbath. Well, Moody, we got the Dodgers Phillies has started. I'm ready to check out the live stream. We're gonna have Phillies, Dodgers, Cubs, Brewers, and Thursday Night Football live stream up here at Barstool. Check that out. And once again, want to mention thanks to everybody who's donated for the Chicago Marathon. I'm very close to 10,000. We're going to get over it tomorrow, and it's going to be a great weekend out there, and I'll have a lot of content with it. And shout out everybody. Long Wake Up Mintzy today, hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
had a lot to say. Love the chat, though, man. Appreciate y'all you guys interacting with us. And
love talking ball.
Yep, check out the Barstool stream, and let's have a day. I'll be in here early tomorrow.